Hi everybody, welcome back to Marie's Kitchen. I'm so glad you're here. Oops. Today we're making air fryer burgers, and these are so quick and easy. There's very little to clean up, and I'm gonna show you how to make them flavorful, juicy, and tender. I can't wait for you to try them. Let's get started. So to get started, we're gonna make the patties. And we have before purchased the pre-made patties at the grocery store, usually come in a set of 4. They're pretty compacted, and I find they're not as tender and not as flavorful as the ones that we do homemade. So I am gonna show you how to make these patties homemade, but of course in a pinch, you can pick up some patties that are already shaped if needed. This is a pound of grass-fed ground beef, and it's 93% lean. I really like the flavor of this beef, and it is not too greasy. So this is the one we usually get. To open it, I'm just going to move this out of the way. Just gonna cut a cross shape, and then you'll just kind of squeeze out the beef like this. It's really the only time I want to be saying squeeze out the beef. You squeeze it out of the package like that. Give my hands a quick rinse. Next up, my secret ingredient for hamburgers is 1 tablespoon of whatever barbecue sauce you have around. So this is just the one that I happen to have in the pantry. Let me grab a tablespoon. And you don't even really have to measure for this, but you don't want to go very much over a tablespoon. I've done that in the past. I thought, well, 1 tablespoon tastes great. Maybe I'll add 2 tablespoons next time. It turned out it just changed the consistency of the patties, and they didn't hold together. They broke apart. So I would just recommend 1 tablespoon of the barbecue sauce. And now we'll add about 1/2 teaspoon kosher salt and some freshly ground pepper. And that's it. So very simple, few ingredients to make these burgers. Now I'm just going to kind of mash together everything, and you don't want to overwork it, but you just kind of want to mix in that barbecue sauce and the salt and pepper so that gets mixed around. Now this is going to make 4 patties, and they're 1/4 pound each. If you are only cooking for 1 or 2, these are great to freeze. You can just, after you make the patties, separate them by parchment and then wrap those up, pop them in the freezer, and whenever you need 1 or more, you can pull them out and cook from frozen. And I'll put on the recipe how to do that. Basically, you just double the cook time. So I'll tell you to cook 8 to 10 minutes, and if you're cooking from frozen, it's more like 16 to 20 minutes. So to make these into the 4 patties, what I do is I just kind of break it in half. I don't measure or anything. It doesn't have to be exact. And you break that in half and break this one in half. So we have 4 sections here. I'm just gonna flatten this out with my hands like that. And so you have a nice, thin, flat patty. And if you've made burgers, say on the grill before, you've often probably heard to indent in the center to prevent the patty from forming up like a tennis ball, which makes it hard to hold, your toppings and condiments. So what happens when you cook the beef is the connective tissue and collagen, as it heats up, it starts to shrink. And when it starts to heat up on the sides, it starts to pull together like a belt, forcing this center part to puff up. However, in the air fryer, where the heat is very consistent, and with the 93% lean ground beef, it doesn't shrink up into that shape. They stay very nice and flat. There we go. I'm gonna take this to the sink and wash it and wash my hands. So you can see these burger patties are not all exactly the same, and that is totally okay. They're generally the same thickness, which is more important. So we have these here, and as I mentioned, if you like, you can cover those up with saran wrap, throw them in the fridge, and they are ready to cook later when it's dinner time. Or you can use your parchment in between each one, wrap those up, and pop them in the freezer until you are ready to pull one out and cook it either 1 or 2 at a time. For now, I'll put these in the fridge, and we'll talk a little bit about the air fryer. So real quick on the air fryer, this is a Cosori air fryer, and I'll put the link in the description box below if you're interested in getting one. I love mine. I use it probably every day, sometimes multiple times a day. It's just a great, easy, low fuss way to cook. So the basic concept of an air fryer is that it is a convection oven, and the food is suspended in a basket. You know, each model may be a little different, but basically there's a basket where the food is suspended, and then the air circulates all around as in a convection oven, which results in even cooking, which can also result in more of a crispy outer texture, which resembles like a fried food without all the grease. So it's really great for all kinds of things. Okay, and the first step, and this isn't necessarily required, but I do like to preheat the air fryer. And so what you can do for that is we're just gonna push on here, and then the preheat button, and this may differ depending on the air fryer that you have, but there's usually a preheat button which says 400 for 5 minutes. So if you don't have a preheat button, just set it to 400 for 5 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and push the play button and let that heat up. Okay, now this is preheated, so we can add a little salt if you like on the burger patties, a little extra pepper on top, and then carefully open the drawer as that is hot in there, and we'll just carefully set our patties right there. You can hear them sizzle. Give my hands a quick rinse. Okay, and then we'll close that up, and we're gonna set that at 350, which is what mine comes to naturally, and then we're gonna adjust the time. So to do that, we push the time temp button. That adjusts the temp. We wanna adjust the time, and I'm gonna bump that down using the minus here. I'm gonna set it to 8 minutes at 350. You may wanna cook a little bit longer, up to 10 minutes, but every air fryer is a little bit different, so it's good to start at 8 minutes, and that will give you about a medium well burger. I don't do mine real pink. If you want them pinker, do it more like 6 minutes. So we have 8 minutes at 350, then we'll take the temperature and see how we're doing and if we need a little bit longer. All right, we'll just push play, and that's it. Now while that is cooking, I am gonna prepare a tray of toppings. I've got some lettuce, some tomatoes, and now we'll add some red onion. Next we'll add some pickles, and I love the bread and butter pickles. This is my favorite brand, but if you like dill, of course use that. I have a meat thermometer here, which I do recommend for just about every kitchen. So we are going to use that here to see how far along the cooking is. So we'll just open the drawer, and you can see those nicely cooked patties in there. They didn't ball up. They're nice and flat. They look delicious, so juicy. So I'm going to just take the meat thermometer, turn it on, and pop it into one of these. We're about at 154 right now, so I would say that's just perfect for us. And now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna grab the cheese. For some reason, our family loves American cheese on burgers, so that's what we use, but feel free to use a real cheddar, or, you know, I saw a black truffle Monterey Jack at Trader Joe's the other day in slices. I got some, it's delicious. That would be so good on a burger. Or a Swiss would be delicious with maybe some mushrooms, so all kinds of combinations. We just happen to love this kind of fake cheese American Kraft single. So we just set your cheese on there. The most important part about cheese is once you set it on there, you don't want to roughly slam the door, because what happens is the cheese flies off and ends up melting into your basket, which is not only a huge mess, it's really disappointing because you don't have any cheese on your burger. So trust me, I've done this many times, and if you even just a little bit too rough, the cheese will fly off. So this is my trick. This is how to solve that problem. After setting the cheese on your patties like this, set them on there, and then what we're gonna do is just close the drawer, but not fully close it, because it kind of jostles it when you fully close it. So close the door, and we're gonna leave it there for about 2 minutes, and that's gonna make the cheese melt because it's still warm in there. And then you have your wonderfully cooked patties with your melted cheese on top, and they are ready to serve. Okay, so we let the cheese melt a little bit. I'll let you see that. See how that cheese stayed right on there? This is a fish spatula, but it's in silicone, and I love it for using in the air fryer because it's nice and small and kind of curved, so it's easy to get down deep like this. And you don't want to use metal on a nonstick surface because it can scratch that up. So just reach down and grab your burger. We can put those out on a plate here. Don't they look great? It's so juicy. Those look good, and it was so easy. Now, a quick note on cleanup. When we pick up the drawer here, like this, you'll see there is some juice and grease and whatnot, cheese and stuff down below. You want to be sure to put it in like a jar or a can. Say you drink some canned water, you can dump it in there. You can put it in an old wine bottle, put the lid on and put it in the trash. You basically just don't want to dump this down your drain because the grease in there can end up causing a lot of problems for your plumbing in your own house and for the community at large. So I always try to help remind and educate people to do not put grease down your drain. Now to our little platter here, I'm gonna add some bacon pieces. And this is actually the pre-cooked bacon that you can buy, and really you just warm it up. You can do it in the microwave, you can do it in the air fryer or on the stovetop like I did here. You just crisp it up a little bit, and that way if you want a little piece of bacon on your burger, you can have it, and it's super easy without, going to a lot of trouble of cooking bacon. Bacon is probably my least favorite thing to cook. All that grease, and there, with that grease again, that's something you definitely don't want to put down the drain either. All right, now as far as serving, we love the brioche buns at Trader Joe's. These are one of my truly favorite products at Trader Joe's, so I highly recommend getting these if you're making burgers, if you have a Trader Joe's around. Or if you're like me and not eating as much bread these days, you can do a lettuce wrap. So I have some bigger pieces of iceberg lettuce here, or you can use butter lettuce or bib lettuce. Those have nice big leaves. Romaine can also work. And so what I would do for that is just take my little lettuce leaf, take my patty, put it right in there. I love tomatoes on mine and a few pickles and some crispy bacon pieces in there. And then maybe a little, I think of mustard. We've been making these really kind of special sauces where you mix mayo, barbecue sauce, ketchup, mustard, mix that all together, and it makes this kind of sweet, tangy, just really good sauce. My kids love to make that, so I'm gonna let them make that tonight if they want, but I'll just put a little mustard on here. Ah! Mustard juice. There we go. Looks good. You can wrap that up. Might need an extra lettuce piece here. We'll double wrap it. Oh my gosh, it looks amazing. Can you see that? Who needs the bun? Nice burger patty, tomatoes, mustard, pickles. I can't talk today. Mmm. 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 Delicious. Mmm. Thanks so much for joining us on Marie's Kitchen. Today we made these easy and delicious burger patties in the air fryer. They're flavorful, juicy, and tender. So easy with so little mess to clean up. I really hope you get to try these. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. It means so much to me and also to YouTube. I'm really trying to get to 100,000 followers, and so every like, subscribe, comment, share, that means so much to me and really makes a difference. So if you have a chance, please do that. For these recipes and more, head over to my website, marieseva.com. There you can go to print out this recipe and all my recipes, and if you like, print them out, put them in a notebook, and make your very own Marie's Kitchen cookbook for free. My goal is to give you some really easy recipes that turn out great every time so you can build some confidence in the kitchen and feel really inspired to share good food with people that you love. From my kitchen to yours, thank you.